Enakugamba 1, 2, go.
Welcome to the Uganda Diaspora NOPE Election Night Media Center. My name is Grace Achiboneka. I reside in Seattle, Washington. Tonight, I'm privileged to be with my fellow comrades from around the world. We will be bringing to you information concerning the 2021 elections that just concluded today, January 14th. And we are pleased to have a program for the entire 12 hours that will be cast on different social media platforms. Some of the main social media platforms will include Choto, Map Media, Ghetto Media. I mentioned My Community, My Concern, Kapalaga, Baibe, and I may have forgotten a few, but we will be streaming, and this program is going to be starting at 6 p.m. Uganda time in the evening through the following morning of January 15th at 6 a.m. This time, I am pleased to be with a few of my comrades, again, around the world that are going to preview some of the events of what's been happening today, as well as provide us and the audience an update of some of the programming and things that have been happening and what we should expect throughout our program. So I welcome all the listeners. I have someone that will be assisting to read out your comments. So we are pleased that we'll be able to answer those. I'll just mention by first name, I have Samuel from Canada. I have George from Bahrain. I have Janet from the UK. I have Daniel from Dallas, Texas. I have Afrobalina. I have Everest, or Afrobalina is from Germany. I have Everest from UK, and I have William from South Korea. So this is really a composition of people from around the world, Ugandans who have Uganda at heart and have been mobilizing and are proud to have been part of this struggle. So I will start off with Daniel. So Daniel, if you would kindly give us a general sense of so far what you've been able to hear coming out of Uganda. I know that Uganda is about 11 in the morning, close to 12 in the afternoon. So can you start off with giving us a general sense of what you've been hearing so far coming out of Uganda? Can you unmute yourself, Daniel?
Thank you so much, Grace, for giving me this opportunity to talk a little about what's happening down in our motherland, Uganda. My name is Daniel from Dallas, Texas, as you've been told. So far, what we've got from down in Uganda, our reporters are telling us that people have woken up in big numbers to go and cast their vote. They are queuing up in lines to some polling stations. There are some biometric machines that are supposed to be reading their thumbprints, which were not working. That has actually caused some bit of stampede. But I think after after an hour, some polling stations were able to resolve that, and people started voting. I think that the youth have come out in big numbers, which is a plus to this struggle, because this struggle is really so much about the new generation. So they have gotten involved in this struggle by showing up in big numbers, despite all odds, despite all the intimidations all the situation that is actually happening in Uganda, the military, the threats. They're really determined to make a change in these elections.
Thank you for giving us a good summary of what you've been hearing and providing us with context. I know that lately, picking up on some of the violence and the abductions and confusion, and we've actually seen, you know, the streets of Kampala paraded with big ammunition and, you know, I don't know, war type machinery, which I don't know if someone really can get votes by parading such things. I think it really creates a really disdained attitude and in the minds of people, and it's a really stained experience that takes us way, way back. It feels like one ends up feeling like they are in hell. I will pick up on Comrade George. George, I know that you tend to follow a lot of activities. You have been at least following a lot of activities, mostly on a daily basis on the campaign trail. And one of our lead diaspora leader was recently abducted. So would you kindly give us a sense of what, you know, your recollection, if you would, of what transpired that day, how you found out, and anything that can help bring good context to the events bringing up to Herman's abduction, if you can.
Thank you so much, Comrade Grace. My name is George, NUP coordinator of Bahrain. Starting with the events of our team leader's arrest, we all know that the Secretariat in Uganda is short of staff, and we need a lot of people to help us here and there. We need agents. Our comrades are in the jail, they have been arrested. So he volunteered to go there and do some errands with, on behalf of the Secretariat. He's a man of change, he's enthusiastic. So he went there, he left the comfort zone where he was, he left the family, then he went to help out with the work of the Secretariat. So on reaching the Secretariat, he was deployed in the northern area of Lira. So he was in a hotel and he was prepared to do the work he had gone to do. So apparently, maybe it's alleged that he was being tailed from Kampala. So that's where he was brutally arrested, and we all saw the video that they put a knee on his neck, and he was squeezed on a pillow so that he couldn't breathe. You had him like crying out loud that he cannot breathe. So in picture of this is what the presidential candidate, Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi, has been going through all along. I've been following all his campaign trails from the first day until the day he was arrested in Luka. That was the first day that led to public outcry and the mass killings of 18th and 19th November. I hope you all remember that. So actually, the whole process has been tainted with a lot of illegalities, a lot of violence, and we as the NUP, we are a non-violent party. We are peace-loving people, and we want to change our leadership in a context of democracy. But unfortunately, the dictator who has been there does not seem to conquer by the will of democracy, and does not seem to conquer by the will of the people. Today are the polls, and as I speak now, I know the NUP is leading, our presidential candidate is leading. Grace, back to the issue of arrests and what transpired with our comrade. The latest update I have about him is that he is still at Lila Police Central Station. One of our lawyers managed to talk with him, but this is the message he gave out to every comrade. He said in his words that he is only worried about the people who are not recognized by the entire public, because for him, we know him as a diaspora team leader. But in his statements, he was like, I'm worried about the people who are in these cells and no one knows about them. You know, no one knows about their parents. No one knows about where they even are. You know, like the internet shut down, people have been abducted, people have been shot dead. So at least for him, he says, at least me, apart from the hunger, I'm fine, but please fight on with the people and encourage them to be so strong, because we have to finish what we started, and we have to keep on the resilience, and we have to be so assertive, and at the same time, we have to be peaceful.
Comrade George.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade George. I think that you, in your presentation, you brought out some of the very salient issues there. For me, as a grown middle-aged woman, I see a group of young people like you with resilient, who are resolute, who inspire me every day to participate and assist in any way I can. I'm sure so are others who are like me, to ensure that we leave a legacy of a country that really reflects your values, and to know that that is the kind of message you had from the team leader, diaspora team leader. It does actually permeate through so many young people, including the very top leadership of the NUP platform. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now I would like to bring in Comrade Everest. Comrade Everest in the UK. If yes, Comrade.
There are some questions or comments in the chat and on the Facebook and the YouTube live chat room. People are requesting if you can use both languages, English and Luganda.
Okay, that is a good start. I think we are comfortable communicating in both. So thank you for informing us, and definitely for checking in on those comments. So Comrade Everest, if you would tell the public or the listeners how we in the diaspora have gotten to this day, and how we have been involved, and maybe briefly make it maybe 1 or 2 minutes, briefly how we got to this day and how we've been involved in this struggle.
Thank you very much, Comrade Nachiboneka. It has been a challenging time for both of us who are in UK or in the diaspora, and the people in Uganda. As we all know, the dictatorship is not easy to conduct this kind of election. And we've been really fighting hard to see that Uganda attains the values we grew in when we were being brought up. And these values where we have to share whatever we have with everyone around. You find that the kind of environment or the kind of what the dictatorship has brought up is really don't reflect the Uganda we really love. And we feel that we should work hard to attain the Uganda we dream of. Thank you.
Thank you for that brief remark and really ending on a positive note that it is about attaining the Uganda that we believe in, the Uganda that we would like to live in. So I would now move on to, maybe I'll take it to Comrade Willie. Comrade Willie Kasaga. Are you able to unmute and briefly talk to us about how you've been engaged in organizing the people in South Korea? Comrade Willie, if you're hearing me, please unmute and inform us briefly how you've been involved in organizing and mobilizing the people of South Korea. So right now, I probably don't Comrade be ready to communicate with us. And so I would like to bring in Comrade Afro-Balina from Germany. Comrade Afro-Balina, can you briefly inform us how you have been mobilizing and organizing people in your local chapter in Germany, and perhaps what this means to all of the people that you've been coordinating?
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Grace. Of course, and like everywhere else in the diaspora, we've been having the same challenges, not having enough support within us, ourselves, to push this forward. But despite all that, we've managed to pull it off in a way that is surprising. I can confidently say that if everything stays neutral and fair, we'll be winning by a huge margin. Of course, we're having challenges right now, like my comrade from said before that our chapter leader was taken in for no reason. Even right now, the security forces are in the capital, including military. Deployment of the forces in towns and other across the country is immense, like we are going to war. Okay, voting started off peacefully, according to my sources down there, but people are worried of violence after if the elections are contested. There have been also some breaches, maybe due to the digital lockdown, we should call it that way, where the social media has been blocked and everything, that even their own verification kits are failing to work. So we'll be keeping you updated in what's happening, and we're hoping for the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. And I appreciate you mentioning some of those glitches. You know, I don't know if you all can see on one of our screens here in our studio, virtual studio. We are looking at some, previously we saw our principal, Honorable Chagulanyi, casting, seeming to be in the ring, casting his ballot, or not really casting his ballot, but being taken through the process of casting his ballot where he's a presidential candidate. And that is very powerful. I think it speaks to all of us in a very special way. But now I'm looking at another screenshot that seems to show a bit of commotion with people on a truck, and probably policemen pulling people while others are looking on. You know, these are the things that make one wonder, you know, what kind of country do we have where the armed forces, police, instead of keeping law and order peacefully, every time and again involved in commotion that creates chaos and injury to people. So I don't think, again, I'll just repeat myself, that does not mean any support for institutions like that, let alone presidential candidates that are espoused for that kind of violence. So this brings me to Kisitu. I know that you've done some little research on some of the characteristics of dictators that you have studied briefly. Can you tell us what you have, the gist of the message that you've been able to identify from your studies, the key points or key takeaways that we can learn from, or you would like the people of Uganda to hear and can identify with, but also provide us with a brief, hopeful message, if you would. Just be brief, maybe 2 minutes. Can you unmute your mic, please? Comrade Kisitu, please unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. I first of all want to give my credit to the RAND blog, to some two writers, and that is Nathaniel Allen and then Alexander H. Noyes. These shared a commentary which is exactly fitting in our situation. As you very well know that Museveni decided to militarize the entire election to create a symbol to demonstrate that it's not just a free and fair election, but it is an election with intimidations and fear. But here is the title of this commentary. African dictators have been losing power, some to democratic governments, and then others, but militaries can tip the scale towards democracy. Across Africa, long-standing dictators are losing their grip on power, and in April alone, Sudanese Omar Hassan el-Bashir and Algeria's Abdelaziz were forced to step down. In the past 4 years, 26 African countries have had transfers of power, a level of political turnover unseen since the 1990s. More than half of the time, an opposition candidate defeated an incumbent in an election and took power. So this can be related to Uganda, or can give hope to Uganda that an incumbent can really take off the dictator. And to add, I will inform you that yet the end of the dictator does not necessarily prevent the rise of a new one. In many African nations, democracy rests on shaky foundation, respect for civil and the political liberties in Africa has been declining for years.
You know what? I think I'm going to stop you there, because you have brought out a very, very interesting point in findings. Identifying first that dictators can actually fall through even an election, so which gives us a lot of hope in the process that we have been involved in, and we are seeing in front of our eyes. Today is Uganda's an election day for presidential candidates, for the position of president as well as parliamentarians. But the other important part you've pointed out, that the fall of one dictator does not prevent the rise of another one. So I think that is a huge lesson for us to be reminded of how we are engaging in these political processes and really guard our, put our guard up and watch out for dictatorships to arise. And in Uganda's situation, I think what happened was Museveni and friends going to the bush and made all of us drink the Kool-Aid, and we're happy. We are, what is the word? What did they say? What did they do for us? They brought us freedom and peace. And then little did we know that it's all going to be seeing Humvees on the streets of Kampala masquerading and killing and having all these people, human beings, putting out very, very strange commands to kill human beings without a regard for humanity. So thank you so much for those 2 points. Very, very well appreciated. Now, I just want to notice that we also saw a screenshot for indicating our principal after casting his vote, a vote where he's standing for president, and there seem to have been huge crowds following or gathered around that location. So we probably will get some updates as we proceed later on in that day to understand, what really happened and where he might be, as well as what's going on in his local constituency. But I wonder, Comrade Janet, have you had any information or anything you can share from the places that you've been monitoring in say, I'm thinking PG or Mukono? What can you share with us, Comrade Janet?
Yes, thank you, Comrade Grace, and greetings from London to all our viewers and fellow comrades here. Basically, there has been a kind of a drip in of information. You will all remember that there is internet shutdown everywhere, and I cannot personally say with certainty what the aim of the government in Uganda is to have this media blackout, but we all know it's sinister. However, I must emphasize that the government must be baffled, because we are still able to get some information and some good information. For example, I will tell you that we have reporters in all areas of Uganda. Personally, I've been in touch with reporters from, specifically, I will comment on Mukono, where I've been able to speak to the local coordinator there, Madame Namayengo Lydia, and a reporter who told me how the elections panned out this morning. The unfolding was that people turned up very early, as early as 6:30, 7 a.m. People were ready at the polling stations, although the government agents or electoral commission agents were not quite ready. They started queuing up very calmly and peacefully and waiting. And when the time came for them to start casting their votes, they were hit with a snag that the biometric machines, which were meant to screen everyone, were not functional, which caused a bit of unsettled situations because people had been waiting for a long time. Voting did not start until about 9:30, when they managed to figure out the working of the machines in some polling stations. But I also understand that when they started voting, they would be screening their thumbprints, and then they will be told, your thumbprint cannot screen. If you try 3 times and it doesn't work, that means you are not a voter, so you will have to go back home. Which I understand people refused openly and said, no, we are registered voters. We're going to wait until you can screen us. So this goes to people on the ground that, you know, do not fall for any little, you know, little put-offs, like, you know, telling you cannot vote because your name cannot be found on the machine, or the letter that, you know, is on your name is not recorded, or your thumbprint can't be found. You are entitled to vote, so please stand firm, be assertive, and educate the polling agents from the Electoral Commission if you need to, but do cast your vote. So as I'm speaking now, I understand on about 5 polling stations around Mukono municipality and Ngandu area are voting well on the machines, and the turnout is really, really massive. The young people have turned up in big numbers. We will remember that Uganda currently, the demographics are that young people make up over 70% of the population. So this is going to be a really thing to watch, a big thing to watch, that if all this number of young people turn out, and the number of young people are all pro change, pro a new Uganda, stakes are high that our candidate, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, will be leading in all these areas. Thank you, Comrade Grace.
Thank you for giving us that brief report, and I just want to circle back on onto the value of what you have reported on, saying that while there are some inconveniences, people did not fold. When they were told to go back, they said, no, I will wait until I cast my vote. And that really plays into the message of knowing our rights, rights to vote. They are part of the Declaration of Rights. That is very, very interesting that you've had that. And I think it also plays into the messages that the principal has been telling us to be humble, to remain calm, to be non-violent, but be assertive. So that's one example, I think, that gets us that message, makes it really across. I want to remind our viewers and listeners that this is a mini preamble to inform you that later on, when the polls close, the Diaspora, NUP Diaspora Media Center for Election Night has created a program, a 12-hour program that will be in 2 main segments from 6 p.m. Local time, Uganda, to 6 a.m. at local time in Uganda. We'll be casting and having guests from all walks of life, providing us some insights on what's been happening during the election process, which doesn't start on election day, but actually starts way much earlier than that, as well as providing insights on what has actually happened on election day, including some projection of results. And so I wonder if Kapalaga, you can share some general insight on how the diaspora will be involved in collecting and discussing some of the projections as they come in from different areas. Some of the results are being projected as they come in from different areas. If Comrade Kapalaga can hear me, are you able to unmute? If
Yes, I can hear you, comrade, and I am here enjoying you.
Okay, so are you going to respond? Are you able to respond to that, or should I move it to one of our colleagues?
You can, if you can move it to Comrade Afro Balaina.
Okay, Comrade Afro Balaina, I think this is a great opportunity for you to highlight how we in the diaspora are also involved in in facilitating the process of gathering election results and having a sense of what's happening on the ground from a data perspective.
Yes, thank you, Grace, for that. Like, I don't know whether I should go into Uganda or stick to English, but I think I'll try to mix it up. As diasporans, we've been playing a big role in facilitating the NUP political party in Uganda. Just as our principal always says it, nothing is less than by people from Bazungus, like the general says. He's not a president, he's referred to as a general by our principal too. We've done that not only in terms of monetary money or cash or financial, it has been also medical applications that the U-Vote, which was developed by the diasporans, and it has been doing a great job already. Despite all the challenges it's facing, I think to do a good job to show the world, maybe not tally the votes. We are not trying to claim victory, but I think to show, give us the platform to challenge the results if they are forged or anything comes up. And ekirala nkikiti nti ffenna nga bwe tuli wano buli omu ataddeko ettaffaali mu ngeri gy'asobola. Abaleese ideas tuziwelkaminze, abaleese obuyambi bwonna tubuyambye. Kitugase ffenna abantu awamu nti we've come together as a team okulaba nti tujjawo tutunula ensi yaffe in a way no one thought would be possible. And how has it come up? It has come up nti the principal, Mr. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, our future president, made it clear to us. He opened our eyes and showed us, you know, if the people come together as one, they can bring the change they want. No guns, no intimidation can change that. That's why I'm in German. Grace is somewhere in the USA. Samuel Kisitus is in Abu Dhabi or wherever it is, and we are here together as one family to see that change comes at all costs. You're not using force, you're just using the law and determination to see that things change in the way they're supposed to. So of course, I want to thank everyone of you viewers, wherever you are, in Uganda, in Europe, in Asia, all over the world, for your tireless efforts and sacrifice in making sure that we, the people, have the last say in these coming elections. Thank you very much, Grace.
Thank you for that brief. And I think having the last say, definitely, you know, we want to see those results. How did people cast their votes? And, you know, God willing, our efforts will pay off. And also create some precedents that amidst the intimidation, amidst the arrests, amidst the killings, you know, amidst the impunity that most people have been subjected, that, you know, evil does not prevail, but good rises above that evil. And that our aspirations, especially the aspirations of our young people, really come to be realized. And so I wanted to add some information that with the voting, much as it's been suppressed, much as we have a state that is not recognizing the role of citizens in casting a free and fair vote and actually having systems that work, that support elections, that free and fair elections, I think coming up to the election day, we have seen the internet off, social media off, the diaspora, NOOP, also supported the U-Vote, which is the platform that NOOP expected to have its a depository, like katino kanchogereko mu Luganda, obululu we bukungaanira, obululu obukubiddwa bonna we bwandikuŋŋaanidde. Aba diaspora nga bakola ne NOOP n'abantu abalala baalaba nti ekyo kyetaagisa okuteekawo ekifo eky'enjawulo ne system esobola okuyamba okubala obululu obwo nga kye twagala okububala kwe kuleeta obwerufu n'amazima mu ngeri abantu gye banaaba balonze. Obanga bukubiddwa nga businga bwa Museveni, tetugaana. Bwe bubanga bwa Kyagulanyi, tetugaana. Naye nga kye twagala kumanya mazima obululu obukubiddwa olwaleero bukubiddwa mu ngeri ki? Bukubiddwa mu mbeera nga abantu batataaganyizibwa oba abantu nga baweebwa eddembe lyabwe okusobola okukuba obululu. Bwe babukubye bubaliddwa bulungi, era bwe buba bubaliddwa ebivuddemu bifaanana bitya? Bye bigendererwa byaffe bye twagala okulaba nti bituukirira. Kakati n'olw'ensonga eyo ne tuba nti tusuubira mu programu yaffe era ey'akawungeezi ak'e Uganda ng'okulonda kuwedde, tujja kuba n'omukisa okusobola okulaga n'okwanjula ebiba bivudde mu kalulu. Tujja kubanga tugiyita projection, kwegamba enteebereza y'ebivudde mu kalulu okusinziira ku results bwe zinaaba zifuniddwa. Naye nga tumanyi nti era omulangirizi alagirwa mu mateeka okulangirira awangudde n'okulangirira obululu obusinze na buli kimu, obwo buyinza amateeka gabulekera Electoral Commission. So wano ffe kye tugenda okubanga tukola, tujja kubanga tubalagako engeri bye tulaba ebivudde mu bululu okusinziira ku different polling stations oba constituencies oba districts. Tusuubira nga tujja kuba tusobola okutuukiriza okumanya okwo eri abantu abanaaba basobola okutwegattako ku mikutu egy'enjawulo. Era emikutu egyo gijja kuba gya mukwanaganya abantu nga YouTube, nga tukozesa ne Uganda Empya, Map Media, Ekyoto, Ghetto Media, tulina ne community, My Community, My Concern, n'endala nga twongerako neya muganda waffe Kapalaga Baibe. So zijja kubeerako nyingi era tubasaba mweyune okuba nti muwuliriza. Ffe tetulina kigendererwa kirala mu nsiike zino okuggyako okuteeka ettoffaali ery'omugaso eri eggwanga lyaffe, ate nga ffenna tulyenyumiririzaamu kuba abasinga obungi ku ffe tuli eno, naye buli kaseera tubeera tubaweereza obuyambi e Uganda. Oteebereza ensi erina abantu ng'ebajjamu omusolo naye nga tesobola kubawaayo saavisi n'emu, nga buli kintu munnansi alina kisasulira, ate nga bw'asasula tafuna musaala gumusobozesa kusasulira bintu ebyo. Kale embeera gye tusuubira ffe gye twagala okwenyumiririzaamu mu Uganda Empya erina okuba nga etunuulira omuntu owa bulijjo. Omuntu owa bulijjo alina kubeerawo atya? Omuntu owa bulijjo singa abeera akola yandibadde afuna omusaala ogumusobozesa okusasulako w'apangisa, ogumusobozesa okufuna meals ebbiri at least ekyemisana n'ekiro oba meals 3, ogumusobozesa okugenda mu ddwaliro ne bw'aba asasuddeyo akasente nga katono naye nga kamufunyisa obujjanjabi bwe yeetaaga. Kaakati kambabuuliremu statistic gye naakafuna eyanyoola omutwe nakati, era bukyanga ngifuna ngenda njogerako. Nalinako ka meeting kwe nali ne wabeerawo omukyalo omu naye mumanyifu mu Uganda omwo yaliko minister na tutegeeza nti banaye ngenda okubabuulira statistic eno nga sinaba kubategeeza byenzize kwogerako nammwe naye njagala mugiteeke mu mutwe ebeeremu. Era wano twongera okulaba ku mukwanaganya Kakensa Media ndowooza yatulaga wano. N'agamba nti mu mwaka 2008 twatandika n'abaana abaagenda mu primary 1 1,100,900 be baregisteringa. Bwe batuuka mu primary 7 baatuulako abaana 60,000 okuva ku 1,100,900. Bwe batuuka okutuula senior 4 kwatuulako 33,500. Bagenda okutuuka mu senior 6 emyaka 2 oluvannyuma kwaregisteringako abaana 9,200. Abaana abo ab'omu senior 6 be baana abaregisteringa omwaka guno guno guwedde 2020. Kwegamba oluvannyuma lw'emyaka 14 ng'abaana batandise P1 1,100,900 abaasobola okutuula okuregisteringa okumalako senior 6 baali 9,900 ate abo bennyini 9,200 tetumanyi oba baayita oba bwe baayita baalagalwa. Kakati n'olabanga tulina okunoonya ng'ensi abaana baffe 1,100,800 abava mu masomero nga tebannatuuka na mu senior 6 baba bawagamira wa bafuna bulamu ki, bafuuka bangeri ki, balina bumanyirivu ki obwekozesa emirimu no contributing ku society. So njagadde ensonga eyo abagiwulidde namwe mutandika okugifumiitiriza kubanga singa buli mwaka tuba n'abaana 1,100,900 okuva mu statistic oyo ava no mugundi mu Uganda Statistics bagita UBOS, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Naye nga buli okuva mu 2008 tuenrollinga abaana 1,900,000 naye oluvannyuma lw'emyaka 12 nga yeyo drop out rate. Kwegamba weewuunya bali abali mu ntebe abo ba Museveni balowooza nti hooligans, naye ne yeerabira nti gavumenti eyiye etuulidde abantu nga tebakkiriza kussa okumala ebbanga lino yeeyoze hooligans. Bw'abanga tabalaba nti bantu yeeyoze hooligans kuba toyinza kulowooza nti ojja kubeera ne future gy'osecuringira abantu ng'abaana abagenda mu masomero tebasobola na kumalako P7 okutuuka mu P7 kumpi 2.3 already baba bagudde. N'olwekyo eno program tugyesiimisa kubanga etuwadde platform kwe twogerera kwe tusobola okuwuliziganya naye nga twongera okuteeka ensi yaffe mu mikono gya Katonda ate naffe okwongera okumwesiga nga naffe twongerako ensigo enesigiddwa abavubuka naddala okuva ddala mu kulembeze waffe Robert Kyagulanyi. Ngenda kusaba tulabika twagala kugalawo opening eno eringanga ebadde nga curtain raiser. Njagala okuwa omukisa bannange buli omu abeereyo ne seconds 3 zaba awaayo obulowoozo bwe obusembayo ate tujja kubaddamu okwogera nammwe n'okuwuliziganya edda. Kantandike ne Mwami gundi Mwami George. Mwami George,
webale nnyo Madam Grace.
Obulowoozo bubiri mu daki seconds nga 3.
Webale nnyo Madam Grace olw'okutulambika obulungi. Nze nno kye nandirowoozezza kyandibadde bwe kiti nti ebintu ebisinga gavumenti bye zikola byandizikoze nga zimaze kulowooza. Incidents gye tufunye nti biometric scan zibadde tezikola olw'ensonga nti there was an internet shutdown. So one wonders who plans for the government. Did these people first think of what they are doing before they entered into the act of hurting whoever they intend to hurt? So nze kirowoozo kyange nti ebintu ebisinga gavumenti za Africa naddala zandibikoze nnyo ne bwe zigamba nti we are bringing about democracy, and they remove it into the book and they put into action. So nzako ke kalowoozo kange. Thank you so much.
Weebale nnyo, weebaliye ddala era nga owunzise bulungi n'ekibuuzo ekyo ffenna kye tuyinza okwefumiitirizaamu. Katugende ewa mwami Samuel. Akalowoozo akasembayo k'oyinza okutuwa. Samuel, unmute oyo otuwa akalowoozo kaakasembayo.
Okay, neyanza nnyo Madam Grace. Nze nakalowoozo kange, yeah, my thought is right here from this very research, because we are looking at the election as the plan A, but we have to open our eyes and the heads up and look at what would be the plan B of all this. We well know that we are dealing with a militarized government, and we need to have the army or the military on our side. And why would I bring in this? It is because of these few factors. This is how the army or the military helps. The military loyalty shows that whether security forces support the opposition or stick with the incumbent is not random. 5 factors help explain when the military will aid in the democratic transition and when it will determine it. The military will help in the massive and inclusive peaceful protests. So we continue to encourage our members to keep a watch, to keep an eye where it needs to come up. We should come up on a real grounds. Then we believe that the military are Ugandans and they will be part of us. The military recruitment and promotion should be merit-based. So in the sense that we see that the military is not, like the case is just the opposite in Uganda, it's not merit-based. So we need to look at, more so this will apply to our president when we got into the new Uganda. We need to focus on seeing a merit-based military so that we can put things on a fair ground. The military's institutional needs to be met. Why you see military bowing down and closing their eyes as if they're not seeing what is going on, as if they're working as robots, is because even their institutional needs are not met. So I will wrap up with the mutual understanding that was supposed to be exist between senior military and opposition leaders. We need each other. We need a sense of nationalism and Uganda at heart, both with the military and opposition. And finally, we have to get outside assistance. We have to know that outside assistance is of less help when building tactical capacity and more helpful when reducing corruption and human rights abuses. So this is what it means for the hand of Diaspora. Thank you for the hashtags. Thank you for the social media involvement. You are exposing all these and gathering enough evidence to cause for, to uphold or lift the voices of the fallen comrades to find justice after all this entire process of election. Thank you very much. I wish you the best.
Thank you, Comrade Samuel. Thank you. Thank you for bringing up that point of the hashtags, because we do have hashtags that are have been brought up and thought through by several comrades. So we would encourage people on Facebook and when you're tweeting, so to use the Eyes on Uganda hashtag, as well as the Stand with Uganda hashtag, and removing dictator hashtag. There are so many others, but those I wanted to bring up, those two that have recently been promoted as well. So they help us keep our a message, put our messages across. So I would ask Comrade, I'll give Comrade Willie. Comrade Willie, have you, do you have a second? I just would give you 30 seconds to just say hello to people and sign out.
Yes.
I don't want to speak longer. In fact, no one should speak as long as Comrade Samuel in the closing remarks. Just keep it brief, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Grace. I want to thank you people for the work well done. We have put in so much, and I encourage
Someone is
us
supposed to
not
mute.
to get tired. We continue till when we reach our goals. May God bless us. Stay well, stay blessed.
Thank you. And I'll get a Comrade Everest to sign out.
Thank you very much, Comrade Chiboneka. My message to everyone in Uganda, please come out and vote. We need to get rid of this regime, which has hopeless Ugandans to this extent. Be assured that the dictator today is going, and your action will speak volumes, and Uganda will remember your action today. And by tonight, we should be celebrating. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you too. And I'll pass this on to Janet. Please, a closing remark for our audience.
Thank you very much, Comrade Grace, for our program, very well aired. Mine really goes to thank the diasporans in general all over the world, the tremendous work and effort, and saying to them that, you know, this is just the beginning of a long journey. Please hang in there in the day-to-day, keep on. And to Ugandans on the ground, I just want to say, thank you. Mukoze kyebayita okuyiwawo omubiri naye ate temukikomyawo. Let's continue today. Make sure your vote counts. Keep guard the vote. Record incidents. Use your phone. It's a very powerful weapon, as we all know. And despite of all that has been done to try and stifle the flow of information, we are getting all the information. The internet is not a problem. Record the videos, record the audios, send text messages, and at the time of counting, crucial. Be there, hear the result, and send it to the YouVote platform. And our vote will make a difference. We will see the new Uganda that we all deserve. We all deserve better Ugandans. We do. Thank you so much. And God bless you, for God and my country.
Thank you for those closing remarks and reminding Ugandans, those in Uganda, on what actions they need to take. Thank you. Comrade Daniel, I know you're exhausted. Let's wrap it up. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Madam Grace, Comrade Grace. Mine is just an appeal to the current president. Please stop the bloodshed. You've shedded enough blood. Let this be the last talk of your actions. Let the results speak. Let the Ugandans be. Let Ugandans go. Let Ugandans, don't hold them hostage for God and my country.
Wow, that is very, very powerful. Now I wonder if I should ask Comrade Afrobaina to close out after that.
Yeah, I'll just take my 20 seconds. Thank you so much, everyone, for this. It's not yet over. Later, we are 18 million registered voters. We need more than 51%. So, we have to keep on fighting. This is war. Aina sente aziteekeyo ateka mu byakuteekewo n'amagezi gonna. Let's come together and fight this to the end. Nga bwe tugamba ffenna obuwanguzi tujja kwambala engule ffenna oba owagira ena oba togiwagira owagira NUP president agenda okujja kuba president waffe ffenna ajja tugatta, so temwetya nti ate bwe mujjako omusajja temunaddawa temujja kudduka, mujja kusigalawo muri baganda baffe mulonde Kyagulanyi mulabe Uganda empya bwejja okujja nga ffenna nina kilo ya kawunga tekingaza kulya mucere nga ng'oli kalo. So with those, I wish you all the best for the better Uganda. People power, our power.
Our power. Our power. Thank you so much. Thank you, Comrade Kapalaga, for producing this program. And we wish to sign out. Thank you.